It's Team Tuesday every Tuesday. This week we visit Akron, Ohio. Tune in every Tuesday to learn about our team here at Donald Martens.
DeAnna Watson. I'm an EMT and an FTO. Depends on what kind of day I've had, I guess. I like a good steak. I come home sometimes to steak and baked potato. Yeah. And then sometimes it's crackers. Oh my goodness. Steak, because you can't go wrong with steak. I like seafood. So shrimp, crab. I don't like extravagant stuff at all. Flying, 100% flying. I'm terrified of falling, but flying seems kind of nice. Oh, where the water is crystal blue. Yeah, none of that brown water stuff. Cran. So anything horror genre related is my go-to. I do like superhero TV shows. My go-to for that is The Flash. So I just, when the weather's right, I just started learning how to ride a motorcycle.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's intimidating.
Right.
It's scary. I've been a backpack for the last year. So being comfortable moving the way we move when I'm not in control has become natural. Having to do it myself is, wow. It was frustrating at first. The whole clutch to gas ratio, like you don't know exactly how much you're supposed to do with what, and you stall, and it's frustrating, but I finally got it. I think it's a 2004. Harley made them, so it's got a half a Harley engine in it. I didn't, my boyfriend did. He said a small bike needs a small girl name, so her name is Paulette. They're considered a crotch rocket. It doesn't look necessarily like a crotch rocket, but it's short. I can sit on it and my knees bend. We started to, just really short things, because allowed to go on main roads yet. You know, you got to stay on the side streets and the back roads, 2-lane road type situations. But yeah, we went for a ride to a friend's house and back. And I did almost wipe out. I think I hit a patch of gravel and it freaked me out, but I survived and I stayed upright. We do have a good team here. And of course, everybody's going to have their bad days. But I enjoy everybody I work with. Of course, there's going to be certain people you like working with more than others just because you've formed a bond. One of them is over there. Jameson and I were partners from the time I started here up until he got his promotion. So I got a lot of my experience from someone well-seasoned. And, but yeah, everybody here is great.
Who's your favorite? Who are you closest with?
Oh, see, that's hard because I'm really close with a couple people.
Yeah.
I'm close with Jameson just because we were partners for so long. I'm close with Sophia. I'd like to think I'm close with Remington.
And who would you say is the funniest?
Oh, me.
Yeah?
No, Sophia is the funniest.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's so funny about her?
She random, very random, and it took me a minute to really catch on to her style of humor and sarcasm. And normally the new people come to me. There are 2 other FTOs here. One of them's part-time now, so I'm not exactly sure how they welcome everybody, but normally, you know, they're put on my shift if they're with me. And, you know, you come in, you say, you know, hi, obviously. And I'm kind of always smiles, so just polite and, you know, you're with me today. And then I just start showing them the ropes, whether they've done it for 30 years or they're fresh out of school. I train all the new people the same. That was kind of frustrating. So I had a little bit of experience. I worked for another company prior to here for 6 months. I was their ambulance driver while I was in school. And then I got my license 5 years ago this past August. And I was on an ambulance for a little while. My training over there wasn't so great. So I wasn't getting the experience. So then when I came here, I got my 5 days of ride time, which was better than the previous company. But like I said, I've learned the most from working with Jameson. So 5 days of ride time, and all the new people that come in here, I tell them, anything you want to know, ask him, and if he doesn't know, he'll find out. So yeah, I've learned a lot from him.
That's what it seems like.
Well, I never thought I would ever be in the medical field necessarily, but ever since I was a kid, my parents always told me that they saw that I liked helping people. I was always the first person to jump when somebody needed something. Several years before I actually went to school, I considered doing it, and someone close to me said, "No, we don't need any more of those. We need more nurses," or something like that. And I was much younger, so I kind of just went with it. So I just job hopped from different factory jobs, which, don't get me wrong, some of them I loved and could probably still do today because it's ingrained in my brain. But one day I just said, you know what? I'm tired of getting up at 4 a.m, going to a job that I don't like. And I made a phone call to Stark State College. And within a week, I was in there talking to somebody about getting into EMT school. Every day is different. The 5 years that I've been here, which actually it's 5 years officially on the 12th of this month, was 5 years for me. Things have gotten a little busier as the years have gone on. Some days you're sitting here until 11, 12, 1 o'clock because there's nothing going on. And then some days I'll be halfway to work and get my first text. That doesn't happen very often, but it has. Then some days you'll come in, you'll clock in, you'll start your truck check, and you'll get your first call. And some days are real steady, and some days you have half an hour or an hour between calls. And then sometimes we're a little behind. It really depends on the day. No day's the same. So to give you just a little bit of background before I tell the story, when I first got into EMS, I wanted to be a genuine first responder. I wanted to be the first on the scene for all the excitement and the fun stuff. And then Jameson and I were on a call that seemed like it was just going to be a routine call, and it wasn't. And I won't get into details about the call, but it made me realize I don't want that excitement anymore. I like the calm of private EMS over the 911s of a fire department. And that call stuck with me for a good month, and it weighed on my mind. And I cried for a good week afterwards. Anytime I think about it or talk about it, it was an emotional call, at least for me. Something I hadn't experienced yet. So that hung around for a while. How do I put this? So they hire people who are knowledgeable. And kind of like with doctors, you're learning something new every day. You never stop learning. Even the newer people who don't have the experience that I have actually taught me something. So I think that's what they had to offer me so far. We have a couple double medic crews, and then we have a medic and an EMT, sometimes on a truck together. So you're either going to have a good day or you're going to have a bad day, because not everybody is going to mesh well together. I found several different people that I enjoy working with, because right now I don't have a partner. I'm kind of partner hopping. Perfect partner. Just someone who I can click with, someone who, while we're working together, we know our body language, we know what's going to happen next. without having to say anything. Like, we have a routine. Somebody who's funny. You know, I like to laugh, I like to have a good time, but someone also who will do their job, you know, and not just kind of poke along, I guess. That I ask questions. If I don't know something, I ask it. Going through paperwork and I don't know what a certain medication is, I'll look it up, or I'll ask him, like, what is this? Like, while I'm writing stuff down. Medical condition. Oh, I've never heard of this. What is this? I think that's what he says, that I am a good person to work with, that I take direction, and that I ask questions. Well, in life, it'd be a combination of my children and buying my first house. At work, it's when somebody who I've trained or am currently training tells me that they want to work with me. That makes me feel really good, you know, or someone who, like Sophia, I trained Sophia, and she enjoys working with me. It means a lot. I just had this conversation with my daughter, who turned 19 this year, and she's going to be going to school for something medical. We haven't decided yet, but, you know, she thinks it's great that I take care of people. My son, for the longest time when he was little, he's 10, loved that I drove an ambulance. And if we were close by, I'd swing by the house so he could see it. Both my kids have been here before, so they've seen all the different trucks that we have and the environment that I work in. And they think it's cool. My son really likes to tell people, my mom's an EMT. 16-year-old me, wow. That was a long, long time ago. I'm technically a 7th grade dropout. I was 33 when I got my GED. So 16-year-old me was, you know, spending the night at my best friend's house, 7 houses down, who is still my best friend today, 33 years of friendship with her. Staying up well past the times we're supposed to, sneaking out of the house, doing things we shouldn't have been doing at 16. I thought I had all the time in the world. My mom always used to say, the older you get, the faster time goes. I didn't believe her. Now my kids are grown. You know, my son's almost as tall as me. My daughter's going to be going off doing her own things. But how I see them are those teeny tiny little babies. And I blinked, and I was 43 years old. What happened? 16-year-old me had absolutely no idea what the future was going to hold. You know, the most that I hear is that we're not real EMS. Fact of the matter is I went and did the same amount of schooling that paramedic did to get his EMT, to get his paramedic. I took the same test, and the only thing I don't do is stop your bleeding, because by the time I get to you, you're ready to go home, or you're ready to go to rehab after your accident. The only difference is the first responders that work for the fire departments are there when tragedy struck. I'm there after the fact. So there really is no difference, because our education is the same. So I feel like people need to be recognized more for what they do for the company, instead of just coming to work and working their shift. I have tried for the last 5 years to make sure that my patient, and if their family's in the room, them as well, feel comfortable. Ask anybody I work with. I walk into the room and it's, hi, how are you today? Are you ready to leave? Is it an act? Yes, but it's genuine. But I feel like not everybody does that. So I feel like the ones here that do, and there's a lot of us that do the same, feel like they need to be more recognized Not just as a, congratulations, good job, because that only gets you so far. But maybe something else, a raise. There are times where I actually take PTO, but like this week, I picked up Wednesday, so I'll work all week. Christmas is coming up. I worked a full week, 1 week last week, to get a nice paycheck to finish up Christmas. I want to be able to say that, I have some money in the bank. So that would be nice. And it doesn't have to be a lot, just something like, when our evaluations come up, we see you, and here you go. There's a lot of crews around here that get phone calls from patients or from their family or even from the facility. Hey, so-and-so did an incredible job. And then there are some who hear that from these patients and families that they don't call in. I feel like that needs to be promoted more as well. And he said, good or bad? So of course I say good. But I think that needs to be promoted more, is we need business cards. Hey, if you think I did a good job, here, this is my supervisor's direct phone number, or this is our director of operations, whatever. Yeah.
It's Team Tuesday. Every Tuesday, learn about us here at Donald Martens.